How's it going, everybody? This is Radishhead, and welcome back to another episode of Upland Analysis. Today, it's a special day for not one, but two reasons. The first is quite personal to the channel itself. If you take a quick look down at the subscriber count of the channel, you'll notice that it has hit the 1,000 subscriber milestone. This is obviously unbelievably exciting news for me. It's happened so much quicker than I expected, and I just want to thank everybody who's watching this, who subscribed to the channel and has supported me and my videos for the last few months. Thank you so much. Honestly, the positive comments that I receive on the videos, I love reading them, I love responding to them, and just seeing the channel grow and all the great feedback from everybody, it's really encouraged me to keep going. I have a lot of big plans for this channel. As it continues to grow, I want to take Upland Analysis more and more seriously, up the production values a bit, improve my editing skills and my presentation, and just the general content is going to only continue to get better as time goes on and as the channel continues to grow. As promised, there will absolutely be a 1,000 subscriber giveaway at some point in the near future. Haven't 100% decided what that's going to be yet, but if you do want to get involved in that and you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so, because it will not disappoint. And yeah, once again, thank you everybody so much for helping me do this, and here's to the next 1,000. In other more broad Upland news, Metaventures have launched today, which is an unbelievably exciting piece of news. You can see on the Upland map here, we've got some orange dots in San Francisco. For those of you who don't know, all new gameplay features will always be added to San Francisco and Fresno first. They were the first two cities, and as a reward for the early adopters in the beta who kicked the game off by minting in San Francisco and Fresno, the developers made a bit of a pact to them that Fresno and San Francisco would always be the testing grounds for all new features. So they're the first ones to get Metaventures. They'll be the first ones with an international airport. They'll be the first ones with cars. Lots of new things to come. So if you do want to get involved in the new features of Upland as they happen, I would recommend grabbing a property or two in San Francisco, because they will always be the first. So, on that note, let's talk about Metaventures. So I've talked about this in a previous video, but quite simply, Metaventures are shops in Upland. It's an umbrella term for all kinds of shops. Eventually there'll be Metaventures for block explorers, housing decorations, NFL legits, cars once they get into the game. All of that, you'll be able to buy and sell them, and that platform where you buy and sell your items is called Metaventures. At the moment in this beta launch, it's only available to a select number of people who applied a long time ago, before I joined the game, to be part of this business scheme. So at the moment, you and me can't set up a Metaventure, but hopefully soon it will expand out to the wider populace of Upland. Let me just zoom in here on this one in San Francisco to show you what we mean by a Metaventure. So, you saw the orange dots on the map, and here we go. So all Metaventures have to be hosted inside a structure. So already this gives a little bit more utility to structures. Well, actually, it's the first utility for structures. And I believe there is some connection on the size of the structure compared to how much inventory can be held inside the Metaventure itself. So here we go. So I've zoomed in, we've got Mr. Inaugural. So this is one of the shops that's owned by one of these beta participants. I'm going to click on this, and let's go and have a look at one. So it comes up with a really nice background. I don't know if this is selected by the shop owner right now or what, but we do get a little bit of a blurb. So this one here, Mr. Inaugural. Welcome to Mr. Inaugural, your place to buy and sell exclusive block explorers in Upland, high quality products and premium customer service. Play the meta. Okay, and it says shop now. So I'm going to click shop now, and here we go. We got 3 block explorers in here. So it looks like this one's being uploaded into the shop right now. We've got Gold Bruce, which I believe is quite an old and very rare block explorer back from the early days of Upland, which explains its outrageous price tag of 1.3 million UPIX. And we have the Structure NFT Wizard. I know that a lot of people like to collect these wizards, and they are quite valuable. So again, that would explain the cost here. My understanding is, because I'm not in San Francisco at the moment, I'm in Oakland, ready for the tour. So hope you guys are excited for the tour. If you signed up for that, it's happening today. But my understanding is that I can view the products in the shops no matter what city I'm in. But in order to actually buy one of these, if I did want to spend 1.3 million UPIX on a gold shark, I could do that, but only if I'm located in San Francisco and I send my Explorer to the property. So that's kind of the trade-off there. So you don't have to travel to the city to browse inventory, but you do have to send yourself there in order to actually buy something. So I've finished having a browse through the shop. I'm going to click the back button here and just exit the shop. So that is how to get involved in Metaventures. At the moment, it is for a select group of people, but I think hopefully once we prove to Upland that this beta is working fine, I'm sure they'll be very keen to roll this out on a wider basis, because it adds a completely new dynamic to the Upland economy. It adds functionality for structures, which might kick off the Spark market in a way that we haven't seen before. And it's just a really cool way to get people buying and selling block explorers, which at the moment, you know, they look cool and people do buy and sell them, but this is going to add a whole new block explorer market, which is very exciting. I just can't stop looking at these shops. Look at how lovely these backgrounds are. We've got this one is Metastar, owned by Benist. Does he have anything in stock? He does. See, he's got the Structure Ornament Wizard as well. He's charging a bit more for his one. Got the War Memorial Explorer and the Puppet Master. Now, I own this one, so I'd be very excited if it actually was worth 600,000 UPIX. I have a feeling it's not actually worth 600,000 UPIX, but it's more of a demonstration. It's more of a showroom model for us to have a look at. That is one thing about the Block Explorer shops, is that we're still working out, I think, as a community, what these explorers are actually worth. Is it worth paying more for an earlier mint, for example? I'm assuming mint number 1 is always going to be worth more, but would mint number 300 be worth more than mint number 500, for example? These are questions which I think the community is still trying to work out. So that's how to buy a Block Explorer, but what about how to sell one? How do you get one of these in somebody's shop without owning a shop yourself? Well, at the moment, as far as I can tell, the best way to do that is to click on the shop itself. It will tell you who owns the shop, and then you can reach out to them on Discord and send them an offer and say, hey, I've got an Explorer that I think you might like to have in your shop. You know, send me an offer for it, or offer a trade yourself. That will be added then to their inventory, and then they can sell it in their shop. So at the moment, that's how I would recommend. If you have some exciting explorers that you'd like to have listed in somebody else's shop, go ahead and reach out to them on Discord. I think that's the best way to do that. So I think that covers all the basics in terms of Metaventures right now: how to get a shop, how to buy from the shop, how to sell your stuff in somebody else's shop. Let's talk about what I'm going to be doing in terms of Metaventures on my channel, because as I say, this adds a whole new dynamic to the Upland economy. Just the buying and selling of block explorers, these new Metaventure shops, is something which hasn't been done before, and quite frankly, it's a whole new chapter in Upland which I'm really excited to cover on the channel. There aren't any bots at the moment which allow us to go through the inventories of all the different shops. It's kind of manual at the moment. You've got to zoom in, click on stuff, have a browse, and just see what people are paying for these things, or rather what people aren't paying for them, because if they were an amazing price, they'd be sold out already. So it's a little bit hard getting the analysis on what these explorers are actually worth, but I will 100% be doing my best to cover what I feel is the value of explorers in Metaventure shops on my channel. I'll be checking the price trends, so I'll be trying to have a good look at a lot of shops each day, trying to see if I see similar explorers popping up, if the prices of those are increasing or decreasing, just to get a general sense of the trends and prices and how supply and demand is doing. As well as the prices of the properties themselves, I want to share insights I'm gaining on locations of Metaventure shops, something which I've speculated on and I think it's already happening a little bit, is that Metaventure shops, I think, are going to become clustered together. You actually see this in real life. It's a real phenomenon where shops of a similar type quite often like to locate themselves next to each other. It's better for them in terms of competition and getting all of their customer base in a single location. If I just zoom in here, we have right up here, there's actually a real life business park, and at the moment there's 2 Block Explorer shops here, but you can see there's a lot of marked properties. So we've got H&M, which is home to Uplanders, the Mystery Block shop on a real life Five Guys and shopping centre, but we've also got the Panera Bread, Macy's. There's a lot of things here, and I've been told that a lot of these other properties are owned by people who want to set up their own Block Explorer shops. So as well as looking at the individual price of units inside people's shops, I want to look at the location of the shops themselves and whether there's incoming commercial hubs in Upland where people are setting up their shops and the impact that could have on the properties themselves as well as the goods inside the properties. And overall, I just want to think about Metaventure strategy. I'm going to feed back to you guys whether I feel that it's worthwhile setting up a Metaventure shop once that is available to the wider public, how they're doing, whether people are paying lots of tax in certain areas, whether I'm seeing an influx from one city to another, because the more shops are in a city, the more tax they've got to pay. I'll be looking at the prices and whether people are making enough money to justify being in a really popular area. All of this stuff is going to be like a completely new game. So of course I'm going to continue focusing on the property trading side of Upland, but more and more I'm going to be trying to do my research on the Metaventure side of Upland, and I'm really excited to see how that looks and the analysis which I can gain from that. So if you're interested to see more and more about Metaventures in Upland, I'd love it if you subscribed to the channel and gave this video a like, because it really does help. Thank you very much once again for 1,000 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next one.